Hey, guess what? Palm Bay's on Java now. I'm on Java. I got world edit. I got shaders. I know. Everybody calm down. We're gonna build a metro station today. I'm over here. I'm in Sand Creek. The target and stuff is that direction, but I decided I was gonna build a little bit of a highway and do something a little bit different. So this is done. I have a railway here, and now I just need a metro station that connects to it. So the metro for Palm Bay is going to be, at least for now, mostly above ground. I'm going to try to get the metro to be underground eventually, like a subway system, but for now, we're going to rock with the above ground because for at least this section of the city, this is what works. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to put probably a bus stop section. So the way this works is there's one lane coming this way for buses, and then there is this one here for cars, just as a drop-off point. The parking garage that I built over there, which I can show off a little bit later, is for this metro station that doesn't exist yet. This isn't going to be the biggest metro station in the world, but I think it's going to be the perfect size to kind of start out with and figure out what I want. So what if I brought and did this? Okay, that's cool. And then I can just use it as kind of a recurring design throughout the platform here. So again, obviously Palm Bay is on Java now. I also want to give a shout out for everyone that was in the comments section kind of explaining to me that you can and sort of how to do it. I ended up making it work. I think World Edit and Shaders is going to be the best thing that I could have possibly done for the city. I think shaders in particular really make this place pop. So I think after that, the idea then becomes to take this kind of section of natural-ish greenery and just drag it along this side so it fills in this whole section. So behind the parking garage here is a slightly more restricted area. It's a little bit uglier. So I want to kind of keep that separated with this green space over here. Okay, bus stops. Interestingly enough, I actually don't really dislike the mud bricks, and I want to use something that feels a little bit different. I think for seats we can use polished andesite, for now anyway. Does it look too big? It kind of from this angle, it kind of looks like Elvis. Oh, thank you. Okay, I can't keep it. I can't keep it. I can't keep it if it's gonna look like that. If every time I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna think of Elvis. I can't keep it. I can't keep it. Oh man. Okay, so after a considerable amount of messing around with it, as in like it took me a while, I think that this is what we're gonna roll with. Oh yeah, that is what we're talking about. That is exactly what we're talking about. So now we're gonna take that to right, bam. Okay, that's beautiful. So now the line is going to come in this way. Speaking of which, I suppose it's time that we start working on kind of the metro situation. So I'm not exactly a genius when it comes to world edit, so I'm just kind of extending all of this out by hand. Then I'll take it and stack it. Yeah. Though I think it's going to need to be like 12. Whoops. Stack 12. No. So what I might do is work a little bit on the platform itself, I think. That might be the best place to start a build like this. So what I'm thinking then is that you have escalators, and maybe we'll start with that instead. So then you'll have an escalator on both sides, so 4, yeah, and then I can just extend it another 2. I'm trying to think if I want the platform to be like 2 above the track here. So the train, you'd get on the train from this. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. So 4 escalators that lead up to the platform here. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. 4 escalators that lead up to the platform. So now we build the platform itself. So one little section of the platform built here, and then we'll stack it. I can totally see how this can end up being super, super cool looking in the end, but we still, I mean, have a lot of work to do. But I think from up here, this is starting to look super cool. One of the things I wasn't exactly aware of was how you really get from one side to the other. If you find out that you just do something wrong, then just work around it. No need to tear the whole thing down. Congratulations. Although I forgot that this side now doesn't have a railing. So I think this is the best way to go about it. And then I've put the tough walls here, and I could probably stack them up and make them into something a little bit later, signs or something of some sort of detail. So that's the main part of the middle, but now I need to work on, you know, the actual line cover itself. Okay, so here's what happened. I built up this whole thing, and it was really cool, and then I realized that it was way too dramatic, so we're back to the drawing board. I do kind of like the tiered system. I would still like to stagger the section over the middle compared to the other sections. So like now that we have this, then we can put the tough walls there. And this needs to extend out maybe like 2 more or something like that. So then I can put the one there. So I want a lot of light up here. So I think glass to fill in this top section only over the line itself. And then these I can run straight up the middle on that side. This is starting to fit the theme a little bit more. What I had before was just so dramatic. You know, I wonder if the andesite walls actually will look any better now that I made that mistake. And then then we can bring this up. So this is mirrored. I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna just see if I can stack it back and forth just to get the cover on it and see what it looks like. This is something that I can be happy with. All it takes sometimes is just to take a break and go and eat some bagel bites, which is exactly what I did. It just feels so much better when you get, like, on a roll, you know what I mean? Now that the roof thing is figured out, I feel much, much better about it. Alright, now that my brain lemur has satisfied itself by building these, I need to actually figure out what to do with these columns. I like the andesite. I do, but to be honest, I think it just might be better if I went with polished andesite or something and did like a full block instead of the wall. Okay, so this is what I came up with. Instead of just the normal, although I think I had smooth stone, but instead of just the normal andesite walls, a little bit of intrigue, and it doesn't necessarily feel flimsy, but it's not overdone either. So I guess the important thing now is then I need to figure out how I'm going to stand this whole thing up, and I think it's just going to involve copy pasting these pillars over onto the other side. Okay, now that we have that done, we can work on the top of this pillar section over here. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is add beacons here underneath the tracks themselves. Now I just need to do the same thing on the other side, and then we can get to the middle. So I'm going to follow the same pattern and then just embed the beacons into this. That way they look like they stand out a little bit more, but they really don't. Okay, it now looks pretty cool under here, but the problem is that when I look down, there's absolutely nothing. So I think the best thing to do now is start decorating the bottom section here a little bit. So after a little bit of research, I realized that it's probably best to build the turnstile gates here, or maybe hereabouts. Like maybe I could extend it out just one more a little bit. But I think it's probably best to build the gates out on this side. And then what I could do is try to run some green space around here to kind of provide some sort of block off from circumventing the turnstiles. I could hate this, but I don't really know yet. So I suppose here then there kind of needs to be like some sort of booth. there's always somebody sitting here looking at you kind of funny. It just actually gives me an excuse to use these pale gates. And then there's always a bigger one for accessibility reasons, so that's what I'm gonna do there. That's cool. I just had a brain thought in my brain. Don't quote me on it, but we might actually be heading in more of a positive direction than a negative one this time. It's definitely a distinct look. I don't want to call it bad. It's just not what we're going for. I don't see any problems with this. Oh, Minecraft, never change. Never change. Alright, I just like doing mindless things while I wait for ideas to come for doing, like, bigger and more important things. Like, I'm putting buttons on here. Why? I don't know. Oh, yeah, ticket machines. Okay. So normally they seem to be this light blue color, and there's a silver, and then some item frames here for the screen. Most of the idea is that you just look at them and go, oh yeah, that's something. That looks like detail. That's there. I'm just not really going to overthink the signage. I think I'm just going to throw some stuff here. I think eventually I want to see if I can import some maps, like custom map designs, and put them up there so I can kind of design the lines themselves. As long as it looks like something is there, then that's really all I'm going for. Now, actually, what I think I'm going to do is take this one out, and I'll make a little ticket booth here. Not ticket booth, but a just kind of a customer services kiosk. That's nice. And then brush plates on top. Oh, this is so much better down here. Okay. This is great. I can't stop looking at it. I'm just going to move on from that. We're moving on from that. But the rest of it, I think, looks really good. So we are pretty much at a place now where we can go up top. So what do we need on the platform? For starters, probably more information boards. What we'll do is put banners here, because this whole thing, in theory, is supposed to be just one big map. So what I'm going to do is line this up, and then if I take the map that I have... Oh, that doesn't work. Never mind. Maybe this looks better as a map board. Maybe throw a banner on the side? Yeah, for now, that's pretty cool. Okay, map board's done. Ish. I just thought of something that's really important, which is the fact that I should probably put some sort of indicator, like the yellow line indicator to, not step off the platform. Okay, this is cool. What else can we add? Probably something on the bottom of this, and then I can put a block of coal here, and then this sort of then becomes your, like, arrival departure board that kind of has the information on it for when the train is coming. This is your kind of your real-time update board. So the next thing we're going to need is to kind of put a large sign or two, probably on each side, that explain to you where you are when each of the stations get here. Well, it would say Sand Creek on it. That's as close as we're getting. But again, the idea is there. Okay, so I've got 6 of these in here total. I'm trying to think of what else could be up here. Oh, benches, duh. Honestly, the platform itself is pretty much done. We're just going to need to see what else we need to add down here, but we're actually in really good shape. So I think what I'm going to do now is extend the glass to where it kind of fits the whole station that way. And then what I'm going to do is just go outside here and work on a lot of this extra detail work so you don't have to see it. I think a lot of this has gone on long enough. I've been working on the inside, so I'm going to add a bunch of stuff around this area, make it flow a little bit nicer, make everything seem nice, and I will come right back at you in a second. So Palm Bay has its first ever metro station, and I'm super pleased with how it turned out. I added some utility areas, bike racks, and touched up on some detail. I hope you guys really enjoyed the first video on Java. It made my life a ton easier, and my computer handles it way better than I expected. What other types of builds do you guys want to see? I would love to see what cool ideas you guys might have to add to the city, so let me know in the comments and I'll take a shot at it. Thank you all so much for watching and all of the recent support. I will be back on Palm Bay soon, but for now, I've been Mobinis. Have a great